This video and hundreds more like it available on freePhotoshopVideoTutorials.com. In this video we're going to learn how to distort text and give it like a 3D look and actually make it look good as well. And by look good, let me just show you what I mean. I don't mean just looking cool, but I have here an image that I created already. It's just a black background with the text, the future. Right? Pretty simple. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this because I'm going to show you the wrong way and then the right way to distort text. Because first of all, before we do anything, the way to distort text was go to Edit, Transform, and then we go to Distort. But as you can see, we can't. We can't go to Distort. And there's two ways that, well, the reason you can't is because the text is editable, and you can't do it when it's editable. So you have to convert it to something. And normally what people do is they convert it to regular pixels, right? So they right-click, and then they can say rasterize type, right? And this makes your type, let me just unview this here, just this rasterize type here. Now what you can do is go to Edit, Transform, and Distort, and you're free to distort your text. And you can see that, you know, if you do something like this, it starts looking really nice in 3D. I'll press Enter, and you see that the problem is that the edges are really fuzzy, and that's because initially the size of the font was, hold on, go back here. Originally, there we go. The original size was this, and Photoshop is having to make up, you know, an extra size here, so you end up looking like this. So this is the wrong way. I'll just keep this for now, but this is the wrong way, right? So I won't delete it just so you can go back and reference it. And I'll show you now the correct way. The correct way is actually to convert this into curves. So we're going to right-click on it and do Convert to Shape. And what this will do is it will fill in with a white background, and you'll actually have then a sort of like a vector mask of the text. If I click outside of it, you'll see that we have here our image just fine. If we click inside of it, it looks a little funky, but that's just because it's actually showing just the selection of your text right there, right? So with the view, it looks a little funky, but that's the actual thing right there. Now we're going to do the same thing, selecting our layer mask. Make sure that's selected. We're going to go into Edit and Transform and go to Distort there. And now we're going to do the same thing that we did before, like so. Press Enter. And again, we're just going to click outside of it because having the selection there looks a little funky, the vector. So there we are. Okay. So that's a selection, and let's show you the comparison. So there's one, there's the other. Much better, right? Cool, I'm glad you agree. So now I'll just show you a quick little tip on how to make sort of like this 3D text, make it a little bit more interesting. Let's add some effects to it. So I'm going to click on that layer, go to the effects, and go to Outer Glow. And with Outer Glow, what I'll do is I'll just select like a cool, like a purple. Okay? Now I'm going to increase the size of this quite drastically right there and decrease the opacity a little. So we have sort of like this glowing purple going on. Okay. Now we're going to go to Inner Glow, and I'm going to change the color here to like an interesting red, like so. And I'm going to now increase the size. And actually it's not doing much because we're on screen, right? So we want to change our mode here to multiply. There we are. Okay. With the mode to multiply, what we want to do here is change the size. The size is probably actually alright. We want to drop down the opacity quite a lot. So there's just a hint of that red coming through, like so. And we'll click OK. And there we are. So now I'm just going to create a little reflection to this. So the way we do the reflection is I'm going to duplicate this, like so. And I'm going to do a transform and flip vertical, like so. Okay. Now I'm going to move that down, like so. And now I'm going to go into Edit, Transform Path, and I want to skew. And skewing just allows us, if I just grab the side handle here, it just allows us to just move this up, and all I want to do is just match it, like so. So I want to match our text so that there's an even gap. That looks alright actually. The gap would get a little bit bigger here, and as you get a little bit onwards, then you get a lesser of a gap. Let's click out. That's looking really good like that. Okay, so now we have a reflection. And where's our reflection? Right here. Let me drop this down actually. Makes more sense for a reflection. Just the organization of it, just for it to look down like that. Now what we want to do is add a layer mask to this so we can have it just disappear. So we're going to click on it, and you can see that now we have a vector mask and a layer mask. And now what we can do with our gradient is just apply something like this. Now you're seeing that this isn't working very well, and the reason is because I'm adding the gradient, and it's going from here and disappearing down, but then you can see that our text is actually going at an angle. So the tricky thing here, and this is a little bit hard because you're going to have to do a trial and error, is to do the gradient at an angle. So you just do an angle there. Wow, I got it at first shot. Look at that. Normally you probably wouldn't get this at the first shot. You're going to try to get something so that you're following that angle, so you get an equal amount so that it looks natural like that. Keep on playing with it until you actually get it right. I'm quite surprised that I actually got it at a right angle right there, but until you get that, keep on playing with it. Okay, and the other thing you want to do is probably just change the opacity of it as well. Just drop it down to something like 40, 30% or something like that. And there you are. There's your cool text of the future. If you enjoyed this video, show your support by subscribing, rating, and adding it to favorites. Leave comments on our website and we'll create even more videos that interest you.